Hello everybody, it's Katie. Just thought I'd pop on and say hi. Please excuse my outfit. When you work from home, you don't always dress up. And a lot of times these lives are not planned. I just pop on when I feel like it and when I have something cool to share with you. So it is a very hot and humid day here in southwestern Ontario. Probably the last one we will have until next year, so I'm taking full advantage of it with the windows open. This week I actually wrote a guest blog post for a company called Nurselet, and they are really amazing actually, and becoming quite a large company, but they are mostly for breastfeeding mothers. So if you have small children already, or if you know someone and you need a gift, check them out. They're pretty cool. For those of you who haven't quite made it that far yet, no worries. When you do, you'll want to check these guys out. So anyway, I wrote a guest post for them about the 7 reasons nutrition is essential for good fertility. And I thought this was a really awesome topic for me to come on and chat with you ladies as well. So I'm just going to go over the blog post a little bit. And, this is the basics of what I do, basically, right? Like, these are a lot of the reasons why I strongly believe that we need to really be having really good health and nutrition in order for this good fertility and in order to improve our fertility and have optimal fertility. So I'm just going to go over some of these things with you today. If you're popping on, feel free to say hi. I always like to know who I'm talking to, and that, I'm not just sitting in my office by myself talking to a screen. So say hi. If you have questions, let me know. I'm happy to answer questions now, or even if you're watching the replay after, that's fine as well. So here's my thoughts on nutrition for fertility. So, we live in this super fast-paced, crazy society. I think especially with the introduction of smartphones and the internet, like all of these things, the expectations that we have for what we can get done in a day and for every piece of our life is so much higher because of it. And there's a lot of amazing benefits that come from this technology and that come from all of these, neat new inventions, but there's a lot of negative things that come from them as well. And, I think part of that is that we get so wrapped up into our to-do lists and our work and the expectations that are there and just trying to constantly get things done, that we've really forgotten the importance of good nutrition. And we're turning a lot more to prepackaged and quick and easy meals that are already done for us, right? Totally understand that. I've been there. I get it. And even being a nutritionist and going through my own fertility journey, I totally get it. I still do it. There's definitely a time and a place for those things. However, when we're going through, these issues and we're not sure what's maybe causing them, and really we're trying to create a new life. We're trying to create life. That is something not to be taken lightly, and it's such a cool, really amazing, mind-blowing thing that it's really important that we put our bodies into the best possible health and well-being that we can get them in to give this new life the best opportunities that we can, right? And a lot of these things that we can do with our nutrition are really going to help balance our hormones, allow for a much easier, sorry, my phone's ringing. My computer's not working right now, unfortunately, so I'm doing this live on my phone, which, I can't, shut off my phone calls and stuff that come in. So sorry about that. So really important that we get our body into the optimal condition so that it's good for our fertility and good for our future generation. So, okay, so I'm going to talk about a few reasons here today that I think are really important. And just the connection between nutrition and fertility. So, for starters, a lot of people ask me about egg health. So remembering that our eggs and the sperm, this is our DNA. This is the DNA, and this is the foundations of this new life that we're going to be developing, right? So you have half of that, and your spouse has the other half of that. So what's happening is that you're giving your kids half of your genes. you want to make so sure that is the best DNA and those are the best genes that you can possibly give them, right? You want to make sure that you have amazing health habits in place so that you can give them all of this great start at life and the great tools to continue throughout their life with this. And again, I've talked about this many times in the past, but it's really important to keep in mind that females are born with all of their eggs. And here's why that's important. It's important because if you get pregnant with a girl, they are born with all their eggs. So as they're growing inside of you, they contain all of their eggs. They're eggs that will then produce future children. So if you think about that, that kind of means that technically you're carrying half of the DNA of your future grandbabies as well. So you are really affecting future generations, and you want to be making sure that not only your kids are getting the best start at life, but now that your grandkids are also getting the best start at life. So this has a very, long-term effect. So it's so important that we get in the best health and do the best that we can for these future generations and for our children. So that's one big part of it. Our preconception health can also play a huge impact on our children's long-term health. Long-term health. And I think this is where a lot of people really miss the boat because, we go through our pregnancy and, they say, oh yeah, they do all the checkups, the baby's good, baby's born, yeah, you had this wonderful, healthy, baby, all is well. However, we seem to miss the connection that although your child may seem healthy at the beginning, things that happen throughout their life might be because of that DA and the original start that they got. So, studies have now shown that your health preconception, so before that baby is even conceived, it's only just a thought in your mind, really. This can play a role in determining whether their resistance to things like heart disease, diabetes, stroke, as well as cognitive and behavioral problems. Those things can be linked back to your preconception nutrition. It's so important. So this positive nutrition and healthy preconception can really give your baby a strong start at life, as well as a finish at life. Right? So we want to be thinking more long-term. Long-term. It's not just about getting pregnant. It's not just about having a healthy pregnancy. It's not just about delivering a healthy baby. We're thinking like many, many years into the future, right? So really important to think about. And feeding your body lots of healthy foods and ensuring that you and your baby are getting all the proper nutrients that you and the baby need. This is going to help with a healthier pregnancy. This is going to help with a healthier baby. So, I'm sure you've seen the most recent studies that talk about the importance of B3, vitamin B3. And this was a really groundbreaking study that came out a little while ago. I actually did a bit of a rant on this study. You can check out my blog post. It's there. That showed that B3 is really playing a large factor in miscarriage rates. So it's important for us to have these proper nutrients so that, our pregnancy goes well, so that, we're not having these miscarriages or not as likely to have these miscarriages. Folate or folic acid is very commonly recommended, and this is because it reduces the risk of spina bifida. So all of these nutrients are slowly being discovered how it affects our fertility. Now, just because the study hasn't come out yet, just because we don't have proof of that yet from studies, doesn't mean that it doesn't have this ginormous impact on our health and well-being and fertility, right? So constantly these new studies are coming out. B3, B6 is really important in reducing, let me get my brain on, sorry, in reducing morning sickness in pregnancy. So a lot of people who have a lot of morning sickness are really low in these essential vitamins. Things like fish oil and good healthy fats. If you have a proper amount of them, that's amazing. That gives you a good start. It gives you a healthy pregnancy. It's going to be really, really good for your baby because healthy fats are essential in good brain development. They've also been shown to help reduce the risk of asthma in children. People who suffer strongly from baby brain. This is a healthy fat depletion This is a huge part of where that comes from, is that these women don't start off with the right nutrient levels. So a lot of people already have low levels of healthy fats. Omega-3 fish oils is something that is so beneficial to pretty much everyone, and can really help improve your brain function, right? So what happens is that women have these omega-3 levels and healthy fat levels that are so low to start with, and then we get pregnant, and the baby comes first. The baby says, I need all of these things. You're growing a life. Let's not forget this. So they take all your nutrients, and if you're not already topped up, they just keep sinking. They're just going to keep sinking, and if you're already low, now you're way lower, and that's when we run into health problems and issues, right? So that's oftentimes where this baby brain comes from, because good quality fats are so important for brain development and brain functioning. So of course you want your child to have that, right? But you also need that. So don't forget about you in this journey. So really, really important that we're eating healthy diets so that we can have all these important nutrients to help prevent and avoid these issues that might come out of it. Now, and something else going along with that is often people ask me, what should I be eating? What do you think about this diet? What do you think about that diet? How do I improve egg health? How do I start ovulating again? What food should I eat? What food shouldn't I eat? I get all these questions on a regular basis. And I pretty much give the same answer every time, and that is we need to go back to the basics. We need to go back to our 3 macronutrients. This is what we should be looking at when it comes to our food guide. So in Canada, we have the Canadian Food Guide. In all honesty, I say scrap that.